Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019 Career Mode episode number 71. We're wrapping up the Santos Tour Down Under. Stage 5 is a sprint stage, so I'll be jumping straight into the end of it. We are in a good position overall. Philipsen is the race leader, but of course Stage 6, Willunga Hill, will change all of that. So then we turn our focus onto Gottwald, who himself is in the top 10 right now. 30 kilometers to go. But the breakaway's lead is a bit too large. Quite a bit too large. Looks like kind of quick step working at the front. And some others, I've just added a few guys to the mix as well. And actually, they are not up there at the current tempo. So I need to step it up. So Garfield, Mather, Garrison, my earliest lead out guys, I've decided to try to get them into the mix. And the mid-80s was not doing it. Let's see what 90 will do. Will that get them into the front? The chase has pulled back about a minute 15 in the last just over 10K. So with 25K to go and a 2-minute gap, and actually now we're up to a minute and a half in just another couple kilometers from where we were. So we're pulling them back very quick right now. And it's just 4 riders. See the damage kind of hurting the entire field. Even Philipsen is a bit tired right now. Currently, I've shifted things down. Gaudry, Gottwald doing the protecting of Philipsen and Brian for the stage. Gottwald I've got to keep an eye on to make sure he doesn't get too tired. We might have to reverse that and forego the stage, as Gottwald, of course, is our hope for the overall. And I do care more about that than I do care about my lead-out guys for Philipsen. But with just a minute 20, I think I'm going to allow these 3 to relax now. Put them back into their original roles.
Kilometers remaining.
And let them carry on just a little bit longer. We're under a minute now. I do think we're going to come back at these guys. 14.5K. A lot of fatigue here. Let's take a second and get... how about Garfield and Mather look a little more tired. So we'll get Garfield and Mather use their gels first. Mather really needs to be coming forward. Why are you so far back here, Mather? Get up into position. 13K. I think we'll form up at about 11.5. And Mather dropping again. What the heck is going on here? Oh, we just got squeezed. Okay. Gel's kicking in. Let's go ahead and form up now with 11K to go. So Philipsen. Gottwald's going to follow you. So we'll go there. Philipsen. And we set up our sprint chain. A lot of fatigue out here, so it's going to be hard for guys to push for very long. And Mather, where are you, Mather? Okay, Mather's not in the worst position, but he needs to come out hard, otherwise he's going to... Come on, Mather.
10 kilometers to the finish line.
Otherwise he's going to drop us back further, which is what just happened. We've got 10K to go, though. Plenty of time to sort this out. He's got Garfield behind him, so at least he's leading Garfield out. Hopefully everybody else will get into position because he is now done, and Garfield's going to be done in just a moment. And we'll continue on this trend. He's pushing for nothing. Apparently, here comes Garrison. Here is Gaudry. Let's get them ready. Here we go. Making some space. This is really hard to get through here. Garfield's done, so we're on to Garrison. 6K. We're about to use up the gels on everyone else. Garrison pulling us to the front finally with 5.7 to go. There's still 4 riders away, so that we have not caught the breakaway yet. And with 5K to go, let's use the last of those gels. Garrison giving us his lead out. There we go, and we're down to my 3 guys, and this is rough for 4.6K. This is going to be a hard chase. 40 seconds to get the breakaway back. They just came back together, which is definitely not good for our chase. And we're down to a lead-out guy here with 3.3. I could see this field splitting. If my guys are this tired, imagine how everybody is behind us. 32 seconds to cover still. 2.7K. Okay, Brian, go ahead and speed up a little bit. 2K to go. Okay, go ahead and sprint. Go ahead and sprint. Go ahead and sprint. 28 seconds. They're going to win. We're riding for 5th place now. Basically, we're riding for points at this point. And there's Pascal Ackerman, who we are up against. Gottwald's in a good spot, too. If he gets some points on this, he's certainly got some sort of chance. Philipson's got it. He's well ahead here. I think he'll take 5th on the stage, or not. What's going on, Philipson? He's not out of energy, yet he just got out-sprinted. Ugh. That's harsh to see. Ackerman takes 5th. DeMar takes 6th. We were only 7th, so we lose some points there with 1 stage to go. There was no chance at the Category 2 or sprint points today, as you had 4 riders 5 minutes ahead of us, and we never came back at them. So they end up taking the stage, taking the seconds, and then we don't even grab the points at the line either. I mean, not that it was a terrible result, but with 1 stage to go, it's going to be tough for Philipson to beat Ackerman to at least get the points jersey, because the overall almost certainly is going to be gone on Wollonga Hill. We're going to give him a free tow up Wollonga Hill, hoping that he can hang on, because if he can, then he can go on and win the overall race, meaning Gottwald's effort would be in support, but I think Gottwald is going to be the one hanging on Philipson. He will probably drop Philipson, but maybe not. Okay, so Philipson still leads. Ackerman 7 seconds. Ito, Yates, Ciccone. There's Gottwald still in 6th place. Very, very tight battle heading into this final stage, though. Of course, it's really just 18 riders left in contention. And again, we had, 5 sprinters up here? Top 3, Colbrelli, DeMar. Yeah, 5 sprinters. So 13 riders essentially in contention unless Philipson can hang on. I think the other sprinters will be long gone. 5-point deficit for the points jersey. Gottwald, if he wins the stage, 59. He'd be level with Ackerman. The good news is, other than Söderlund, anybody else capable of climbing is too far back on points. So Philipson, we need to see if we can get him 5 points at a sprint checkpoint or at the end if he's still there. Gottwald, best place to win the under 25s unless Philipson hangs on. And we're definitely still in a good position as a team heading into the final stage. And of course, again, it's Wollonga Hill. So here's that quick profile. You've got this nice long circuit around and around and around the town. So you can see the few laps around. And then we're going to come to Wollonga Hill, hit the mesa, plateau at the top, drop back down, come around again, and then head up one more time. Second time around, we finish at the top of Wollonga Hill. This is where Richie Port has dominated, winning 6 of the last 7 years. In real life, took second in this year's race, and that was to a breakaway rider who had had nearly 2 minutes on him heading to the top, and he caught him, but then couldn't beat him to the line when he expended all that energy closing down the 2 minutes. Gottwald on the list of favorites. Fuglsang is the favorite overall. Of course, that's another big topic now. Fuglsang outed potentially as a doper. Alright, so here we go. Final stage, 40k to go. I just took care of water. It's done. We're going to be turning off the main circuit here shortly. And actually, I think Not quite yet, but we're going to be taking a big left up here and heading to Wollonga Hill off the circuit in the very near future. And then the fun begins. Here it is. Here's the left. Oh, I thought that was a left-hander. You tricked me. We still have a breakaway of 6 riders. They have a minute-and-a-half lead. That's not that big at this point, and it should be a pretty easy time coming back at them. But the first time up Wollonga Hill, we want to make sure that we have everyone working hard enough to stay near the front. We've got plenty of energy, just a few guys slightly tired. Garrison not doing too well. Here's the left-hander. Normally we would take a right here and continue on, but instead we're going to take a left and then right to the base of Wollonga Hill.
Whoa, there's an attack from inside the breakaway group.
And up we go. Let's see, right away it's out over 7% already. Gottwald should have no problem hanging on near the front. Phillipson, that's a different story, but he's got some protection, and hopefully he can hang on to the group.
Rudy Molar goes onto the attack.
Garfield, sure why you're struggling so much, but let's get you back up there. Mather's doing all right. Support riders are struggling, but Gottwald, again, hanging on well at the front. And Phillipson doing a pretty good job. Here's the top for the first one. In real life, this kind of levels off a little bit before the finish, but that's okay. We'll take the finish right at the top of the climb. Alright, so far so good, and really not very many riders have been dropped this time up the climb. I imagine there's still a chance for some guys to fall back before we reset for that final one, and yes, there are. So 16 riders were just dropped, but honestly I thought we would be down under 60 by this point. You can see though, Garrison really struggling. Brian's really struggling. Gaudry's really struggling. They're not going to be around much longer, but hopefully they can at least give these guys a little bit of respite so they can recover a bit as we set ourselves up second time. Second time, I'm going to do things very differently. You can see it's a kind of skinny road. We need to be in a good, strong position near the front. And with whatever we have left, Mather supporting Gottwald in front of Phillipson, Garfield in front of Mather, and anything left that Gaudry or Brian can give us at the beginning of the climb. But we're going to need to set that up pretty soon here. It's 13K to the finish. The 4 breakaway riders still have a minute and 13. So we're going to have to reel them back in. But the gap is coming down slightly with 11K to go. But that is a little too much of a gap. We need to start making our move now. So like I said, Phillipson's going to get free tow from Gottwald and see if he's still there. But Gottwald is the one I expect to be there at the end and attacking at the end. Gaudry looking a little better than Brian at this point, and he is better as a puncher. So Garrison gel now. I think I'm going to need Brian's gel now. And we want to get out and front and lead the way, both chasing these 4 breakaway riders back, but also getting some breathing room. So we need to get some breathing room on this one. And so Garrison's going to open that up for us now. 9.4K to go. He is done. Let's open it up. Brian's going to go even faster here. This will definitely get us into a front position. Garrison, go ahead and slip back.
The pack's deficit is being cut back.
36 seconds, so now we've nearly caught these guys. Gaudry's already got his gel, so that's good. We'll go out to a 97 for him. We really need to stay up at the front. 5K to go. This is it. Here we go. The left-hander right ahead of us here. Gaudry giving us a really good lead out. Garfield's going to have to go probably full 99 maybe after we round this corner. Good timing. Our guys got us through the flat. And there's the break. So we've caught the break. We are now in a prime position. Here's Shockman, Colbrelli at the front, Yates. Okay, Colbrelli leading out Yates. Those are the two I need to watch for. Yates is probably the favorite. Shockman certainly could. Kung from the break takes himself out of it now. Millard. Okay, so Garfield. Full 99 for him, 2.4K. So yes, we are going full speed here. All right, that's it for him. On to Mather, 2.1K. Gottwald right behind him. Philipsen hanging on pretty well so far. It's using a little more of his red bar than Gottwald's, but again, he has the pace, the acceleration that if he's still there. And we've got a split. We've got a split in the field. We have a split in the field. Right to here. Velen's chasing. It's opened up between, so Ciccone, you would figure those two guys at least could probably cover this gap. But Ciccone, Caruso, Velen's trying to bridge a gap. You've got Thomas, Chris Hamilton, Colbrelli's now starting to drop, so he did his lead out for Yates. And then I've got 4 guys of, 11? So that's 7 others, Colbrelli dropping, so 6 others in contention. So we're looking pretty good positionally right now. And Garfield's going to give us nothing more. We're on to Mather. I've got a lot of space to the left. I think that might be where I want Mather to go with this. Garfield, stop pushing us. Stop squeezing us.
And it's a swift acceleration by Maximilian Schachmann.
All right. Yates, Schachmann starting to pull away a little bit, but Gottwald I don't think is really strong enough to go for 1.5K full bore 99. Like I said, I don't think we're the favorites for this at all, and so you need to be pushing about a 96. Okay, Philipsen's out of red bar. We're down to Gottwald, and he is doing well, 800 meters, but he's fading.
And the final sprint is off. Who's going to be the first to the line today?
He's still got yellow bar. There's Mather. Mather's just got to keep going the way he's going, and Philipsen needs to go into his own sprint here. But Gottwald has a chance. I think he's going to get beat here by Yates, but he'll take second. That's excellent. That is excellent. That's a really good result. That should put him in second overall. So his very first race, Mather still hanging in there for a top 10 himself. But what's his position? He's 5 minutes down. And then Philipsen's right there. Philipsen's going to still be in the top 10 after this. 12th on the stage. Excellent result. 3 guys in the top 12. Gottwald second, and I'm pretty sure Yates is going to win the overall. Gottwald will be second. I think Yates picked up time. I think Yates was already a couple seconds ahead of Gottwald, possibly. Maybe not. I don't remember where exactly he was, but he'll gain 10. Gottwald gains 6. Schachmann gains 4. Gottwald could win. No, Gottwald will not win the points classification. Ackerman took 14th. Colbrelli took 15th. Ito took 17th. They're up there. Philipsen's ahead in 12th. I don't know if that's enough of a points gap to beat Ackerman. It's going to be tight for the points classification as well. We've got multiple competitions that we are just right there. Right there. But Simon Yates wins the climb up Wollonga Hill. But how do all these classifications look after these finishes? And what time gaps, if any, are being given out of this? Because these guys are definitely not finishing together. It's definitely not a sprint stage. Do the top 3 have a time gap over the rest? They do, 19 seconds. So that should move these 3 to the front podium positions in the GC. And then Mather Philipsen. Yes, Philipsen just 19 seconds behind, so that's a group. And then it gaps to Lutsenko, also named in the he said, she said report. Okay, interesting. So Ackerman, Colbrelli, these guys all losing time. This could keep Philipsen well into maybe 4th place. So we could have 2 guys in the top 5. I'm going to look at points real quick. Gottwald got 4. Oh, it's only 15 points for the stage. So Gottwald gets 14. Mather gets 9. Philipsen just misses. How does Philipsen miss? Oh, these guys all in the sprint classification. The 4 riders. Yeah, Kung, Millard. I don't know who was with them, but I'm guessing it was these guys. But only 11 riders get points, and it stops at 6. That's a little strange that you don't get points here. It must have just been top 10, actually. Gottwald definitely will have the under 25s jersey. And as a team for the stage, ooh, a minute 6. Okay, all right. Let's start looking at the general. How about we go in reverse? We're gonna go in reverse. Team classification. There you go. Doesn't really mean anything, but we gotta win in the team classification. Gottwald wins the under 25s, and yes, that means he is definitely ahead of Philipsen, but that was obvious. Philipsen takes 2nd in the under 25s, ahead of Podjakar. KOM, we were not in that competition. Points. Ackerman hangs on to his 5-point victory. I don't know why. It must have been just down to the top 10, but then the points just drop away to nothing. It's so weird that you go from 5 points, 6 points for 10th place, and nothing for 11th. Right? Why don't the points round off? But even then, we still only would have gained a couple points on Ackerman, as he was only 2 places behind us in 14th. We were in 12th. So at the end of the day, Philipsen still did not have enough. Meanwhile, Gottwald gets the excellent finish on the stage. Highest finisher among GC contenders. But 4th place, right? Still not enough. So we don't get that classification. But here is the GC. They said, I believe we are 2nd and 4th. Let's see if I'm correct on that. And yes, that is the correct assumption. So Simon Yates claims the overall victory in the Santos Tour Down Under for Bahrain Merida. Yuri Gottwald, though, excellent first race for him. This is his first ever career race. Takes 2nd place. I did not bring strong support for him. It was very much for the most part, do it yourself. I mean, Mather, a 71-70, was the only even moderately decent climber around us. So, not bad. Not bad at all. Schachmann finishes on the podium 10 seconds behind. And Philipsen, yes, I knew he was going to lose the race lead. It was inevitable, but solid finish in 4th place, 22 seconds behind. You can see the other sprinters, the closest, ends up being Ackerman at a minute 2. Ito also at a minute 2, outside of the top 10. Colbrelli also back there. So from that group of 18, one of them lost significant time, dropping out completely. Oliveira just hanging in ahead of the chasers. And then you can see where these gaps, begin to open up. These guys all over a minute behind. Tighter group here that never gained time. This is the group that never gained time but lost time just slightly. And then this is people who had a podium finish at some point on a stage or multiple stages. And especially the top 3, right, that gained the extra time on that stage. But that is, I think, a very good result for us. It really is. Wild card, we don't need to worry about wild cards this year. We are in the World Tour. The team's looking: CCC, Cofidis, Delco Marseille, Euskadi, Huggins Berman, Direct Energy, Vital Concept, Wallonie Bruxelles. I would say Cofidis is going to be an easy choice as a French team. Delco Marseille, if they're this high on the list, I would assume that they are classified pretty high in the Continental Pro ranks, which would mean they would be an easy choice as a French team. And then, even though that's Euskadi, that's the Euskadi Basque team. So that's the Spanish team, not the Euskadi French team that was around for so long. So for that third spot, you're looking at Direct Energy as a French side, or probably CCC. I would imagine one of those two will get the third wild card and possibly the fourth wild card. Alright, so opening race to the season in the books. We lead the World Tour rankings, even though we didn't win the race, but we did enough with 2 guys in the top 5. And that also gives us a slight advantage above the same team who won the overall, with Yates in the Super Prestige after 1. But they do pick up the most victories, Philipsen winning the opening stage, right? First stage? Second stage? Whatever it was. Teams announced for the Tour de France, as we're about to begin the Cadel Evans Great Ocean Road Race. And all 4 go to the French teams, as Vital Concept, I believe, as a French team, gets the 4th slot. So CCC, the highest ranked Continental Pro team, out because they are not French. I'm trying to remember for our career mode, I believe we started this day 1 at the mod, hadn't been updated at that point. So CCC actually should be labeled as an American team, even though they then moved to Poland, and that was updated a handful of days after the game started. But if I had already begun the playthrough, they were already there. One other quick note: we bring in 27,000 for a 2nd and 4th place finish at the Santos Tour Down Under. That is what we're going to need. We're going to need a lot of strong World Tour race performances that pay out well, as that balance is going to be of vital concern throughout this season. I think something we really, really need to watch out for. At the same time here, we're going to be starting the Vuelta a San Juan International. I'm going to be doing both of these off camera as we move to Mallorca next for a stager on that one. I'm not sure what the next race actually is that I'm wanting to show. We've got a handful of low-profile races coming up here over the next while. I mean, you can see that the next 7 at least are all lower profile. Of course, the Mallorca, Valenciana, San Juan were among the bigger races when we were a pro continental team, when we weren't getting the big invitations. But things are very different now. Paris-Nice is our first objective of the year, and it's still a month and a half before we get to Paris-Nice. So picking and choosing this early schedule where the World Tour setup is on the light side, it's going to be a little tricky. The next thing is the UAE Tour, and I certainly have set that as an objective for some of the riders. And so maybe Andalusia, that might actually be where we pick up next. I think it is. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of this work off camera, and that means I'm also going to go ahead and end this episode here. I know this was a slower start to the season, but things will definitely pick up now, and we'll be moving into late February and into our World Tour calendar, and especially that classic season kicking off in the not too distant future of late March. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.